Sure, I think in a lot of ways all of those other games were just a warm-up for this one. You know, every game I've ever worked on has left me with new experiences, new thoughts on what's the right thing to do. Mistakes, you know, we always make mistakes when we make games, so I've had the opportunity to work on a lot of different projects that have taught me a lot of different things, and then plus working at Blizzard, which is just so different than every other game company in the world that I've ever worked for. Our standards are different, our approach to making games is different, and having the experience of working on World of Warcraft for so many years, all of that has combined to really help in the process of Diablo III. So I've learned a lot over the years, and I'm just grateful to be able to apply that knowledge, you know? Yes, you know, we wanted it to be there at launch, but we also realized that, you know, for the initial release, people are going to be very focused on PvE, and we didn't want to put out a PvP experience that wasn't perfect. And on top of that, we had so much to do on the PvE experience. We just realized it was better to just wait on PvP and do it right. So I would have liked it to have been there at launch, but it was the right decision to make. Sure, I think other titles I've worked on have the schedules we create are what we call right to left, meaning we start at when we want to ship and work backwards and say, well, we can only do this amount of game to hit that date. At Blizzard, it's different. We start out with what is the game we want to make, and then we figure out how long it's going to take. We have deadlines, but we never announce them until we absolutely are sure that we're going to hit the date, mainly because we know that we are going to work on, try new things all the time, and we're not always going to be happy with the results. And if we're not happy, that means we're going to change it. So we spend a lot of time just iterating on the game and trying new things and just keeping at it and keeping at it. And so we make sure that we always sort of reserve that option to say, no, let's wait because it's not perfect yet. You know, it's a challenge because we're also fans of the game and we have to please ourselves first. But once we do that, we know that's only the beginning, and then we open it up to the rest of the company, and we have very talented, incredibly smart people at the company, and they all give us their feedback because, you know, the team works on something for so many years, and after a while, you know, you need that outside voice to give you the fresh perspective. And then even then, everyone in the company, they're professionals. So we need to then expand outward to the community. You know, every week I get a report from every region around the world telling me what the fans are saying on the forums and everywhere else. So we listen and we look at things, you know, and decide what appeals to us. What are the fans saying that we agree with? And if we agree, then we make that change. You know, I would say that all games give us inspiration. We at Blizzard are all gamers. Everybody plays games, and our designers in particular, they're not just gamers, they're students of design. And they study what works and what doesn't work, and we gain inspiration from everywhere. And not even just games, from movies and art, and, you know, anything that inspires us and gives us ideas, we look at putting that in the game. You know, we have a philosophy at Blizzard that every voice matters, and that extends to the world for us. So the world is full of creative, artistic people, and we want to sort of absorb it all and figure out, you know, what inspires us and gives us passion to do. Diablo III is extremely complicated. I've worked on a number of projects. I've been doing this nearly 20 years, and it is absolutely the most challenging game I ever worked on. And I didn't expect it to be that way when I joined the team, but because when you look at the finished game, it seems sort of simple compared to some other games. But because of everything that happens under the hood, what the game engine is doing, everything is based on a possibility. We can't even test every possibility because they're nearly infinite. So the challenges of constructing this and putting all these pieces together and all of these algorithms that randomly generate, you know, items and monsters and all these properties in the game, has been extremely challenging. So we love betas. It's our opportunity to hear what the fans say. It's also our opportunity to allow far more people than we have resources for to play the game, test our server, test. Some bugs in the game won't appear until you have maybe several 100,000 people. So the beta gives us that opportunity, and it gives us two things. It lets us listen to the community for that last minute sort of check on what we've done, and it lets us stress test our infrastructure. So we love betas. The public beta last weekend was fantastic for us because it identified probably, a good dozen to 15 issues that we didn't know about until enough people hit the servers. And while that might have been frustrating to players, it was fantastic for us because we found these issues and we've already fixed them, which means for the players, they get a better experience when the game launches. We would meet with the cinematics team every week, sometimes multiple times a week. You see all the work, as much work goes into the cinematics as does the game. And what would be really bad is if the game team and the cinematics team aren't on the same page, because once they create those cinematics, we're kind of stuck with that, because that's not the kind of work that we can just easily change again. So we have to stay in constant communication to make sure the story matches, to make sure that the environments that they're in match the environments in the game. So it's constant. It was only until very recently that they finished all the cinematics, so they've been with us along the entire way, making sure that what they do is consistent with what we do. So you can pre-order now on our website. You can download the game digitally from our website, and it'll be available for you on May 15th. Or you can get it in the stores on June 7th. You can get the actual physical copy of the game. I think one of the biggest things for Latin America that I'm telling people is just how much effort we've gone into the translation, and you're going to love the game because it's going to feel like it was made specifically for you.